Well, greetings everybody and welcome back to the Bond Geek channel with me, your host. The name's Stevens. Henry Stevens. Everybody, how'd you do? Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying a good Bond film, a good Bond book, good Bond video game, a good James Bond, whatever makes you part of this glorious fandom, everybody, that is the James Bond community, everybody. Welcome. And everybody, at the time of this video going out, the day it got published, we are exactly in the UK, 1 week away from the release of No Time to Die in the cinema. I've already got my ticket booked, everybody. I can't wait to go see it. So now I think it really is, if you will, the appropriate time where we can discuss actually the road to No Time to Die. Just the making of No Time to Die has been a mixture of real ups and downs. You know, we've had in the past things like this when it comes to the Bond series. You know, the long production and delays between License to Kill and Goldeneye. From Russia with Love had a very, very sort of rocky production and post-production process, everybody. But it ended up, those two films ended up being, I think, some of the best in the whole franchise. So here's hope for No Time to Die, everybody. But I really thought now is the time that we can just really look back and look at the whole road it took to making No Time to Die, because there really was starts and stops, ups and downs, delays, problems on set, you know, restarts and false starts. It was just so much, everybody. So I really think it's a great time to look over this whole road No Time to Die and sort of almost celebrate the journey, everybody. And I think at this point I'll say this. I'm just saying this to you, Eon. A whole documentary on the road to make No Time to Die, that would be incredibly interesting. I mean, being James Bond, the Daniel Craig story, don't get me wrong, was really great, but a whole behind-the-scenes production process of No Time to Die, that would be just, I'm just saying, everybody, that would be, I think, really interesting. But anyhow, let's start off at the beginning of this journey towards No Time to Die. So as we know, development of Bond 25 began in 2016, obviously the year after Spectre came out. And the next big news that we got after that was the fact that in 2017, Purvis and Wade were starting writing the first draft of the script, everybody. Honestly, this is no surprise. This is a very good traditional bog standard start for any Bond development thing. They develop it and Purvis and Wade start writing, everybody. I'm going to say this right now. I know on my channel I've maybe been a bit rude about Neil Purvis and Robert Wade. I don't think they are the greatest writers of the Bond franchise. I think they've done some amazing work. I give them full credit for the greatness of, like, World's Not Enough a bit. Certainly helping, I think, Casino Royale. I know they really wrote the finale of Skyfall a lot, which I think is terrific. They, you know, Neil Purvis and Wade are great writers. And they've done some amazing work in the series. But I do feel that the Bond series needs more voices, which we will get into later on in the video. And I think it's time we get some new, in general, just complete new writers in to write James Bond films. But anyway, full still credit to Purvis and Wade here. They are extremely good. And if I ever get the chance to meet them, I will be begging for autographs from them because they are terrific. But then, you know, they started writing that. The next sort of bit of news that we got, everybody, I think the real sort of main big news when it came on this journey is that it got announced that Sam Mendes was not going to direct Bond 25. Honestly, I know that I don't mean to sound rude about this, but were we all really that surprised? You know, Sam Mendes, in my opinion, did one of the best James Bond films of all time, which is Skyfall. Then he did Spectre, not so good, but as you know, I think Spectre has moments that are just utterly terrific, the best of the best, and other moments which are completely crap. But I think, honestly, after doing two films, I think he just felt a bit burnt out and he needed a rest. I will say this, though, when it comes to Sam Mendes. Brilliant director as he is, I sincerely hope with all my heart that one day he comes back and directs more James Bond films. I think he has a very natural connection with the franchise. I think he knows really well how to sort of make it so fantastic and wonderful, but at the same time give it proper verisimilitude. I think he's a great fit for the Bond franchise, so I really hope we get Sam Mendes coming back again. And I think after that, around this time as well, there were really lots of talks about, is Daniel Craig going to come back? You know, is he asking for this extortionate amount of money? You know, does he want to come back? You know, a lot of these questions really started like, was Spectre his last film? Are they going to be discussing stuff? Because I know at this point when they're looking for directors, this is where our current director of Bond 25, Kerry Joy Fukunaga, was, you know, had a meeting with Barbara Broccoli, you know, talking about James Bond and how he always wanted to do it. And we know from his words that they discussed the potential other Bonds being at this point, just in case, I think names like Tom Hiddleston or Idris Elba or, Henry Cavill, just the usual suspects of names, everybody. But it was looking after that at one point that Denis Villeneuve was going to be the director of Bond 25, obviously, and the reason it didn't happen is basically because he already signed a deal to direct Dune, which took priority, and it would have conflicted. Everybody, what do I think of Denis Villeneuve directing a James Bond film? Just, honestly, it's take my money, okay? Take my money. Denis Villeneuve is one of the greatest current working directors, I think, in cinema at the moment. Why his films never make the big box office, I'll never understand, because they are just behemoths of coolness to behold. Prisoners was amazing. Arrival was fantastic. Sicario. I think Blade Runner 2049, people say, honestly, are mixed about the film. I think it's just as good as the first one. It's just incredible, Blade Runner 2049, and I can't wait to see Dune. I really can't. I mean, Denis Villeneuve just directing a Bond film as well, that to me is another match made in heaven. And as I said, it really is a take my money situation. That would just have been utterly incredible. But everybody, the next bit of news we got was finally Daniel Craig on an interview when someone has asked, I think it's Stephen Colbert, they said, Daniel, would you return for Bond 25? And he goes, yes. So we know now, without doubt, Daniel Craig is coming back, very intentionally makes it very clear, for his final James Bond film. Again, how do I felt about that? I know it sounds weird. I was so surprised. Because I honestly thought Daniel Craig was done after Spectre. I really did. I thought he was just probably, based on how he was, and we now know from the Being James Bond, the Daniel Craig story documentary, burnt out, kept getting injured, had a really hard time on Spectre, and just wanted to move on and do other things. I was really shocked when he came back. Obviously, ever since then, we have now learned that he, outside of the massive paycheck that he got, Barbara Broccoli said the story isn't finished and basically pitched him what the story, I think, eventually of sort of No Time to Die was in its original form was going to be. And he got intrigued by it. And so he decided to come back for one more film. And I hope for his sake it's really good. And again, I add this bit in here, everybody, because it's just a personal thing for me. It really is. No actor, in my opinion, who has played James Bond has really ended on a high. If you compare like Goldeneye in comparison to Die Another Day, or, Dr. No Goldfinger to Diamonds Are Forever, or something like Spy Love Me and Live and Let Die to A View to a Kill. Don't get me wrong, I love A View to a Kill, or, just to cover all bases, Living Daylights over License to Kill. I really hope that Daniel Craig in No Time to Die gets, honestly, for once in the series, in my opinion, to end on a high note. I don't think any actor has truly at this point ended properly on a high note yet. So for me, it would be amazing if he could. And then the next big news is that in February 18, apparently Danny Boyle, great famous British director with his screenwriting friend John Hodge, completely came into Barbara and Michael and Daniel and pitched them a complete new original idea based off not including anything they'd worked on previous about a James Bond film. And they loved it. So, what do? Here was the original No Time to Die stuff. They just threw it away, and they basically announced Danny Boyle's directing the next James Bond film on a new original idea from him and his screenwriting friend John Hodge, and the release date was going to be 2019, everybody. How did I feel about that? Wow, that came out of nowhere. But again, it was really interesting, and I'm a big fan of Danny Boyle. I'm not a fan of all his films in the world. I'm not a big fan of like films like Sunshine or The Beach, or if I'm honest, 127 Hours didn't quite do it for me. But things like Slumdog and 28 Days Later and Trance I really love of his. I think are absolutely really great movies, and he's got his Bond lineage. As we know, in 2012 he directed the Olympic opening ceremony and did a little bit with Her Majesty the Queen and James Bond. So he's got the relationship. I thought this could be really interesting. Something original, something different, and could be something really interesting to end Daniel Craig's tenure on. But we got the information that Danny Boyle had left the project due to creative differences. From what I understand about this, everybody, and I will go into a whole video one day why Danny Boyle's Bond 25 never happened. from what I understand, is basically there were issues with who they wanted as the villain, how one of them wanted to end it, and how some others didn't want it to end. And it was just obviously going to go to a place where, it just wasn't going to work out. So Danny Boyle left. Every now and then, I know in the film industry they use the creative differences as a bit of a cover thing, but honestly, maybe I'm just being blind, blue-eyed or something, but I really do feel that this time, honestly, the term creative differences and left because of it was mutual, because everyone speak very kindly. I know it's publicity. Everyone speak very kindly. And I do wonder if we will get Danny Boyle to come do a Bond film later down the line, and if you do, great. Maybe it'll be something completely new and original, or maybe it will be this story idea finally with a new actor. I don't know, everybody. But again, a bit like Sam Mendes and Denis Villeneuve, come on, who would not want to see a Danny Boyle James Bond film? Obviously not fans of Danny Boyle, but, for me and myself, I'd really love to see this. So basically, following Danny Boyle's departure, the release date became a contingent on whether the studio could find a replacement in the next 60 days. So out of this came, as I mentioned earlier, that lovely meeting with Barbara and Cary Joy Fukunaga. Cary Joy Fukunaga was announced as the new director in 2018 with a new release date of early 2020. Originally, actually, Valentine's Day. Which apparently, from what I understand, is from this. They took back the original No Time to Die script, and then Cary Joy Fukunaga started to do his own rewrite of it, bringing his ideas into the series. He also got writer Scott Z. Burns into doing it as well, and to Daniel Craig's choice, they actually brought in Phoebe Waller-Bridge as the scriptwriter on the series. How do I feel about this? Incredible, everybody. Absolutely incredible. Everyone said, you was more excited about Scott Z. Burns. I was more excited about Phoebe Waller-Bridge writing a James Bond film. I know some people have this thingy about she is like, if you will, if I use the phrase super woke, which I'm sorry, I just don't understand whatsoever. Call me an idiot. But every time she's written something, it's been intelligent, classy, interesting, engaging. Killing Eve was incredible. She wrote the first series and produces the rest of them. Fleabag is incredible. She's not the first female writer in the series, obviously Joanna Harwood of Dr. No from Russia with Love. I thought the fact that we could get Phoebe Waller-Bridge to write a James Bond film, I just thought was incredible. Wow! Just the dialogue and the banter in this film is just going to be incredible in this film. And I hear there's even rumours that she might be potentially writing Bond 26. Just wow! Honestly, wow! But the next big thing that we got was principal photography beginning in April. And we got that sort of press conference, if you can call it a press conference, in Jamaica. Do you know what? At this point, everybody, you must remember, at this point, No Time to Die, it was just looking like a doomed failure, one thing after the other. Things starting, things cancelling, directors come in, directors coming out, new ideas started, scrapped, old ideas, rebought. It was just going a thing. And that press conference, honestly, just, I think, showed, if you will, a bit of a disaster that was happening here. No one was, I think, really sure what the hell was going on. But the great news out of it is we did get the casting. We also got Daniel Craig. We knew that Jeffrey Wright now was going to be back as Felix. Yes. Rami Malek was going to be in it. Asana Lynch, Ana de Armas, Billy Mangelsson, Naomi Harris, Ben Whishaw, Ray Fiennes. Those three were all back. We got some big names out of it. And of course, one of the big things we got is Lea Seydoux as Madeline Swan was going to come back as well. There was a bit of excitement there. We now know stuff. Honestly, out of all of that, the thing I got excited about the most was the fact that Rami Malek was going to be in the film and obviously going to play the villain. That was really, really great. And then, again, more disaster strikes No Time to Die, everybody. Daniel Craig injures himself while filming in No Time to Die, everybody. He just seems fated to injure himself constantly, from broken knees and cut off fingers and now slipping on just something and damaging himself and causing delay stuff. Just poor man. Just every time I feel at this point, the film feels it's getting ahead on the goodwill publicity, something just pushes it back down. It's incredible. But then later on in August, we finally got the official reveal of the title and this lovely cool little social media post they put out, which was No Time to Die. Which honestly, that came out and everyone just got really excited for it. Everyone loved the title. Me, myself included, I love the name No Time to Die. It's so Fleming-ish. It's so good. And we kept seeing behind the scenes stuff and a few little videos, little clips. And then we finally got like the first trailer. And it was brilliant. It was amazing. We thought, wow, this looks incredible. This is going to be good. And it's coming out so soon. This is going to be brilliant. You know, suddenly, literally, the hype switched from not interested to fully interested like it was no tomorrow, I think. Everyone just started to really, like, we can get excited about this. No, this actually looks incredible. This might actually be one of the best James Bond films of all time. And then, unfortunately, as we know, the pandemic happened, and No Time to Die was one of the first films to be delayed, and it got delayed and delayed and delayed till our current one. I don't want to go too much on, you know, the big C sort of pandemic issue at the moment, everybody, because it's still, you know, we're still in it at the time of this recording, and it is a rough thing, and I don't think it's fair to chat too much about it when so many lives were lost, and it's horrible. It really is. But, you know, and for, you know, speaking on a film level, you know, the film just came delayed and delays, and every time we started thinking it was coming out, it would be delayed and stuff like that. And it just, for a while, it just lying so dumb, like you wanted to get excited for No Time to Die, but you just couldn't. But now it is finally going to come out. We know the premiere is on the 28th of September. I'm seeing it on the 30th, everybody. I can't wait to go see it. And that really, for me, is a very sort of overview of the road that comes to No Time to Die. It's been such, I think, a bit of a roller coaster and such a hard struggle, and it's a real sort of challenge to get this film together. And I sincerely hope with all my heart this becomes one of the best James Bond films of all time. I think it really does have the potential, to be fair. But I want to know, everybody, what do you think about this topic? Do you think the whole sort of journey to get No Time to Die on the screen has been interesting? I want to know. Comment down below and tell me what you think. Everybody, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to also leave your comments to say, because on this channel, you've got Bond reviews, editorials, we've got top 10s, Elseworld what if stories, everybody, and trailer reactions. We've got it all, everybody. So I hope you enjoy it. As always, everybody, my name is Henry Stevens, and this is the Bond Geek. Goodbye.